In a striking development, the chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, has issued a warning to ABC regarding a comment made by Jimmy Kimmel during his monologue about the individual accused of assassinating Charlie Kirk. This incident highlights the ongoing scrutiny that Brendan Carr, the FCC chairman, has directed towards the content produced by traditional broadcast networks. Despite the agency's own acknowledgement that its regulatory power over programming is quite limited, during his show on Monday, Kimmel remarked, "We witnessed some alarming lows over the weekend, with the MAGA crowd desperately attempting to portray this young man who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything but one of their own, all in a bid to gain political leverage from the situation." The following day, law enforcement officials charged 22-year-old Tyler Robinson in connection with Kirk's death, along with several other allegations. Utah County Attorney Jeffrey Gray revealed that Robinson's mother indicated her son had become increasingly political, shifting towards more liberal views, particularly in support of LGBTQ+ rights. When questioned by his father about his actions, Robinson reportedly stated that he believed there was too much evil in the world, referring to Kirk as someone who spreads excessive hate. In the aftermath of Robinson's arrest, social media has been rife with speculation regarding his motivations, including a baseless theory suggesting he was affiliated with the alt-right. It is worth noting that Robinson was raised in a conservative household, which Gray mentioned had created tension between him and his father. On Benny Johnson's podcast, Carr condemned Kimmel's remarks as some of the most reprehensible behavior imaginable. He hinted at the possibility of the FCC taking action, stating there are avenues available to the FCC, and I must tread carefully, as I could be called upon to adjudicate some of these claims that arise. Carr continued, "When we see comments like this, we have a choice. We can either address this matter amicably, prompting these companies to take corrective measures regarding Kimmel, or we may face increased responsibilities at the FCC in the future." As of now, neither ABC nor its parent company, the Walt Disney Company, has responded to requests for comments on this issue. In his interview, Carr suggested that he possesses authority over programming content because broadcasters are expected to adhere to a public interest standard. He expressed a desire to revitalize the public interest, emphasizing that broadcasters are fundamentally different from other communicators as they operate under licenses granted by the FCC, which come with obligations to serve the public good. However, Carr's statements have drawn criticism from Ana Gomez, the only Democrat on the FCC. She expressed her concerns on X, stating, "An unacceptable act of political violence by one disturbed individual should never be used as a pretext for broader censorship and control. This administration is increasingly leveraging government power to suppress lawful expression, not because the speech incites violence or violates laws, but because it challenges those in authority or reflects opposing viewpoints. We must remain vigilant against any attempts to silence dissent, punish satirists and critics of the government, and undermine individual freedoms." Interestingly, the FCC's own website outlined its limited legal authority, referencing the Communications Act, which clearly states that the Commission does not possess the power to censor broadcast communications or signals from any station. It further asserts that no regulation or condition should infringe upon the right to free speech through over-the-air broadcasts. The FCC maintains that according to these legal mandates, the best way to serve the public interest is by allowing a free expression of ideas. Instead of suppressing speech, communications law and policy aim to promote responsive counter-speech from others. This principle ensures that a wide array of diverse and opposing opinions can be voiced, even if some of those views may be considered highly offensive. While there are indeed restrictions placed on broadcasters, such as those concerning indecency, obscenity, and the portrayal of commercial content in children's programming, the FCC typically initiates investigations into broadcasters only after receiving formal complaints. One organization, the Center for American Rights, has been particularly active in filing complaints regarding perceived bias in broadcast news and late-night television. Carr himself has kept several investigations open, including one against CBS News related to the editing of an interview with Kamala Harris. Notably, as Skydance sought FCC approval for its merger with CBS's parent company, Paramount Global, it agreed to appoint an ombudsman to handle complaints regarding CBS News. Ari Cohn, the lead counsel for tech policy at the Foundations for Individual Rights and Expression, commented on the situation, stating, "The FCC lacks the authority to regulate what a late-night television host can say. The First Amendment protects the right of Americans to speculate on current events, even if those speculations later prove to be incorrect. Subjecting broadcasters to regulatory liability for any inaccuracies would transform the FCC into a truth arbiter, creating an unacceptable chilling effect on the airwaves." This situation raises important questions about the balance between free speech and accountability in broadcasting. What do you think? Should the FCC have a role in regulating the content of late-night shows? Or does that infringe on free expression? Share your thoughts in the comments.